say something?
Well, it takes it.
Oh, there it is. Something happened.
Oh my God, this whole video you haven't been able to hear what I'm saying?
No, just whatever you unplugged.
Oh man. Oh my God, this whole video you haven't been able to All right, well, I'll turn that off so there's not an echo in the background. Well, I guess hello everybody. Or the me that's on there or was, and now you, and I guess there's nobody's watching.
There's two people. Well, me and one other person.
That would probably be me. Oh, maybe there's somebody watching. I don't know. But now you can hear me.
I see three.
Oh, maybe there's somebody watching. I don't know. But now you can hear me. Been silent video. Well, that blows.
Next time it'll be in black and white.
I guess if you've been watching, I've been working on this. I'm to the point now where I'm going to finish it. So, and then, if whoever's watching wants to see me do something else, I can cut stones. I got rough stuff. I got leather. We could learn leather things. It's getting cold outside. In fact, we're supposed to get a whole bunch of rain where I'm at today. And I was thinking about spinning some wool. Got to process it. I got some raw wool to process down and I want to turn it into a beanie and a pair of gloves because I don't have anything for my head and I don't have anything for my hands. But this is what we've been working on. I know you missed it because you haven't been able to hear me. I'm going to be dipping it in acrylic. I've been using ultraviolet clear acrylic resin. It reacts and gets hard with ultraviolet light. So if you've been watching me, I've been shining a light at it, setting that silver down onto the stone. So now the silver is all set down onto the stone. And I am going to be coating it in acrylic. So this is a silver sheen sapphire. And what it should do when it's all polished up is you should be able to see the light reflecting from the light roll across it one way, and the sheen of the sapphire should roll the opposite direction. So there should be two light rolls in it, which there is. These are really gorgeous silver sheen sapphires. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have this little dippity cup that has got the resin in it. And just leave it in this cup because it's convenient. I pick my random dipping wire, which, let's see, this one looks random. Good enough. I'm going to dip it in there. And I'm just going to let the excess run off as it does. So right now, because of the surface tension of the acrylic, it's filled in my bale. And while it's all wet like this, there we go. I popped it. So now my bale's nice and open. Where I touch the sides of it, I'm gonna just dip back down underneath there. So now I want to thoroughly look at this and make sure there's no bubbles on it. Bubbles are my nemesis. I hate them. If there is bubbles on them, you can wait for the bubbles to pop and then redip it and hope no more bubbles come back, but you don't want to do that. So I use just a little lighter blowtorch thingy, and I don't even really let it run. I just basically want the little poof of hot air going at it to pop the bubbles. So I actually don't see. Oh, I do. There's a bubble right on the surface of it. So I want to flip this around. I don't know if you can see that little bubble right in there, but watch. I'm just going to click the lighter at it. And the bubble's gone. So looking at how the light is rolling across it, I'm going to roll it back and forth and let that resin really settle out nice and even on it. And I'm going to do the same thing at the back. And to me, it seems like there's still kind of a lot of resin on it. So I'm going to let it drop down again. One more drop of it off. There we go. Now I'll hold it the other way. Just trying to get it nice and even everywhere, which it kind of pretty much is. So close the lid so I don't expose it to the light. Move the other one so I don't expose it to the light. Keeping the rock moving so that I'm always watching how the light rolls across it to make sure it's not warped and uneven. So now, just like roasting marshmallow, I'm going to shine the ultraviolet light at it. And I'm just going to really quick, I want it to, harden up and cure evenly. So just like roasting a marshmallow, just keep her turning. Got the buns in the oven. I explained earlier, while you guys couldn't hear me, that I have, so although right now this is nice and it's hardened, it's set, it's curing. The more ultraviolet light I expose to it, the nice and harder it's going to get, so I want to expose it to ultraviolet light for 300 seconds or so. Not very long, doesn't really take much, but this is basically the end product. It's going to look like this. I have a little oven that's got a lot of ultraviolet lights in it, so it gets saturated in it. But that is what the finished necklace pendant will look like here in just a few seconds.
Your hand behind it.
Nice and shiny. You can see the roll from the sapphire really good. You can see the roll from the light really nice. The silver really pops out against that gray background. That is one gorgeous little piece of necklace pendant. Set super easy. Anybody could do that. So now let me go put it in my ultraviolet, as I refer to it, my ultraviolet oven. Be right back. What is it look now?
I'm keeping this person active by tapping these, and then they tap, so there's somebody there.
Look how little hearts and smiley faces. Can I see that on mine? No.
Maybe.
No,
not sure if
it's
there's
not
like
showing up on mine.
I'm not sure if there's.
All right, well, there's 256 seconds left on there. So, who wants to watch my bench when you can see my pretty face, right? Just the camera. There I am. Hello, world. Welcome to underneath what I refer to often as my rock. I crawl out from underneath it once in a while and usually go wander around the desert when I do. So find more rocks. So some more seconds. I have some chains, I guess you could call it, already made. Hard to see. Probably not going to even try to get you to focus in on it. It's black braided leather. Easy little adjustable, whatever, closure on the back. 19 inches. Let's see, 189 more seconds. So with so many people watching, anybody want to see me do anything? I always kind of like a challenge. Like, I don't know, come up with
So double backflip.
a double backflip. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Here, I'll try the double backflip right over here. There's enough space.
All right.
Here I go.
Crash boom smash.
Yeah, here I go. 143 more seconds. The longest 300 seconds ever.
All right.
So, wait, is it? Oh, there's one or two people. So on this channel, I'm going to be, for lack of a better way of saying it, or that's my favorite way to say it, I'm going to be fucking around and finding out with a lot of things. And people bring me stuff, rocks, sticks, random pieces of leather with feathers and sticks and fur and who knows. But I like to goof off with all of it. People tell me I know I don't have ADD. When I grew up and went to school, ADD didn't exist. So I'm pretty sure I don't have that, but I do. I'm friends with a lot of squirrels. Pretty sure they follow me around because they think I'm nuts. So to goof off next, Tony brought over these. You see what they are? They're keychains.
Very
Keychain
cheap rings.
Oh, they're rings.
Yeah, they're rings.
Oh, I thought they were keychains.
No. No. Whole bunch of rings.
Wow, what are they made of?
They're gold and silver plated.
That is not
brass.
whatever you just called it. But
They're
okay,
nice looking, like they.
we can. I got some we can mess around with. I got an idea. So Tony brought these over. It's probably $1 for 100 of them off Amazon or something. It's very cheap. But it has that. That is so when I'm doing cabochons and cutting stuff, people will often want a calibrated stone. A calibrated stone is something that would fit in that. If I measured that, I could go to any, well, I shouldn't say any, but I could go somewhere. I could find a lapidary person, a jewelry supply store or something, and why don't we do it? Measure it real quick. It is, where's my millimeters? Well, not even in millimeters. That is a 1/2 inch. And so I could go and say I want a 1/2 inch round stone. And theoretically, if somebody cut it correctly, it would fit inside there. Now, being the fact that this is not silver, whatever gets set in here will be glued into it. You cannot take stuff like this off Amazon and put a nice round stone in it. I happen to have right here an example. So this is just a rough and cut off a teeny tiny piece of agate, but I could cut that down and make it stick in there. And if this was a silversmith, really nice quality, good silver ring, if you're ever wondering why somebody that makes this stuff charges money for it, because it's difficult. It's not just, the stone's not just glued in there. They've created this probably from stuff like, for me, when I do my silver work, it starts with this,
Flat piece of silver.
which is just a blob of silver. So I will take and cut a piece of this off, and I will use my mill, and we'll explore all that stuff in later videos. I'll use my mill, I'll create the wire, I'll create the flat stuff, and then I bend it into this ring. After I've cut the stone to go in there, I would, because I don't want a good jeweler is not going to use glue. They're going to take the very top of this and they're going to fold that silver around the edge of the stone, which sets it in there. Faceted stones with their prong settings, the prong holds them in there, not glue. But with these cheap Amazon things, one fun thing to do, this would be a super duper easy craft idea for anybody that's doing like a school activity that wants something really cheap to do for a lot of kids that don't have an attention span like me. I don't have a very long attention span, but if you're a crafter that's taking your stuff to craft fairs and want to do like a project in your booth for people that's cheap and easy and convenient, buy some of these and then do what I'm going to do. I need to clean up my little area real fast, but we're going to do an inlay using the same acrylic resin. This stuff is it's like 50 cents for a gallon of it on Amazon. No, I'm just kidding. It's a little bit more than that, but it is really cheap. You can get a starter kit that comes with plenty of resin, the light to cook it with, and the whole entire shebang, and be going for like 20 bucks. It's really, really cheap, really cheap. I just happen to have this ultraviolet light that I use to kind of cure it as we go along. But if anybody's watching and wants, like I have some stones and I could inlay any stone into here. If you have a request, I got a piece of jade I could put in it. I don't really want to put an expensive stone like jade. It's nephrite jade. I don't want to really put that in a 10-cent setting. But I do have turquoise to use. I've got malachite to use. I've got all sorts of, in fact, I've got some crushed up stones. You could go out to your rock garden, find some different rocks, crush them up, and do the same thing. You can do them with pigments, sparkles, glitter. I mean, you name it, you'll be able to do this with it. So let me go clean up my area real fast. Take me, a couple minutes. I'm right here. I'll talk along the way. You just can't see me. I'm a ghost.
Just watching.
I'm going to take that off.
You got 4 lights.
I got 3 of them. You couldn't hear me.
I did share it 3 times, 2 times, Instagram and Facebook.
What happened to our music, Tony? You just smoke it.
Yeah. Every last wave of it.
Go on Facebook and tell all the Facebook people to go on to do crafts.
YouTube. Your YouTube. You can share your page out.
Oh, I can?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can. So you can share it to Facebook or Instagram or whatever.
Sure can. Look at me, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Then you do the, hey, in 1 hour. Type thing.
I just did it. All right, now. That was hard.
Right.
I just got to get one of those, what do they call them, accounts on everything,
Uh-huh.
right?
Well, so like,
All right, so before I go changing things up too much, our project is done. This is what we did in the last, how long it's been, an hour. We cut a sapphire. All right. We cut a sapphire. We wrapped it in silver. We set it in acrylic. We've now cured it under the black light or the ultraviolet light. And the only thing we have to do to it, I'm careful touching them for like the first 24 hours, just as a precaution. That's a super pretty piece. I don't want to smudge it at all. But I know I've worn this stuff for days and days out rock hunting and scraping it against stuff and worn it in showers. And I do test my stuff pretty thoroughly, ruggedly, and it lasts and it stays shiny and it doesn't tarnish. And so I'm just going to put it on the chain. I just have a bunch of these already done. And there we go. Voila.
And do share, like, and subscribe.
So I'm going to stay going live just because we're already live and nobody's watching.
There's somebody on there now.
And I can take and edit and clip all these. I do believe into a bunch of different videos. Man, that one turned out really nice. I like that sapphire in there.
Right.
We could do another sapphire. But oh no, I was going to show you guys the rings. I even went and cleaned up cleaned. That is a non-existent thing in my shop. So here's a little taste of my brain, what it looks like inside there. There's Tony. Say hi, Tony. We're going to be working right here. Get my hands on the right spot. Right here. Please move your huge drink. Let me go get my huge drink. I'm going to leave the computer over here. Don't trip on this, okay? Please. And it's like, you know, when airplanes come in, aircraft carrier, and they land, they got that hook that grabs wires that slows them down. That's what Buddy's tail does to this stuff.
Right?
Yes, that little hook on there, everything he walks underneath, that little donut. You should show them Buddy. Does the world want to meet Buddy? Does Buddy want to meet the world? Oh, Buddy wants to meet the world. So one of these cases broke when it fell. So now we have a piece of glass. Be careful with this. It's not tempered, so it's probably. But now we have a piece of glass. We find a little piece of leather. All right, so leather, glass, working surface. Okay, so yep, that's how I roll. I don't know how many other people have these big immaculate shops like mine's not, and keep them perfectly shiny clean. I don't know how you do that in a shop. To me, that looks like a shop that doesn't get used.
It's like if you're cooking a restaurant, your apron's not dirty by the end of the night, you didn't do your job right.
So what I'm going to do, I set down that ring blank somewhere. I'll go get another one. There's only 50 of them. So Tony brought these over. We're going to mess around with them and find out if we can do anything cool. These are just ring blanks from Amazon or somewhere. Cheap. Anyway, I'm still not done getting things, and that's not very close to that, is it? Can you see it very well? Like that ring there?
It still hasn't
Or-
come to you putting the leather down.
Or there's a gold one. Which one can we see better?
Mine's delayed. Probably you just now are putting the glass down on my feed.
Why don't we do this then? I'm going to move again. I want to get that closer to the camera, but I don't know how.
Lower it. lower the neck.
Oh, yeah, huh. See, this is why I have Tony over here. He tells me stuff like, just lower your tripod if you want it to get closer. Did that work? There we go. The light's coming from behind it. It's going to be terrible. So we'll do this.
There we go.
See it now.
Now, trying to.
There we go. Lots of light now. See, that's good on those. Okay, I can see that good.
Yeah.
All right, so
So you're at this point right now. On the feed. Right.
okay, so we're going to be working with these.
Oh yeah, that's way better.
And then next we need to decide what we're going to inlay into there. So what I was thinking is showing you some more of that resin, that acrylic resin stuff. Let me go get it. So the tools you need for this are nothing. I'm just kidding. You need the resin. I just have it in this pin drop bottle, so I can control it a lot easier. You need the resin, and you need a black light to cure it. After I get it all cured and set with this, and I like it, it goes into another, I did ultraviolet oven-ish. So looking around, I have this table that I'm set up on that is full of things. Looking around, I have, this is red corn, or red corn, coral, red horn coral. That was hard to say. I don't know how good you can see that, but that's pretty neat. I don't know if I want to put a nice piece of stone or fossil into a setting that costs 3 cents, 10 cents, but I would be willing to do like turquoise. You could do malachite. It could do, these are pretty, azurite. It's really pretty blue. We're going to crush it up. I have some already crushed up. You can take any rock. There's some turquoise. You can take any rock, if you like the color of it, smash it to smithereens with something like, I don't know, a hammer works. Anything hard that will break the rock, obviously, crush it up into a powder, and that's how you would do an inlay like we're going to do. So I'm thinking, how about a yin yang in there?
Right.
Maybe? Or crescent moon?
Crescent moon with an actual azurite rosette in it. The green.
Or let's just do a crazy design rather than trying to do something more complicated. So this one here is turquoise that has been smashed up and is pulverized, and I don't turn it to a powder. Some of it does, which I use. Some of it stays in teeny tiny pieces, which I like. This is azurite. This is malachite. So basically I've got a dark green, a dark blue, and a light blue. Maybe I've been wanting to do some red. I could go dig through my boxes and see if I've got a red rock, which I'm pretty sure I do somewhere. Red. Like that Sonoran Sunset's got that really red. See that chunk right there? See that red that's in it? No, that big chunk that you just touched it. See that red that's in it? I think in that rock closet there's some pieces of that have red.
Oh, your basket fell.
Yes, it did. It fell last night. basket did fall. Well, maybe we don't need to do red. This is called Opalina, and it is a really, really, really pretty blue. A bit of a different color than those other blues. So we could do a blue motif. Blue and silver go together really nice. Or zinc, probably.
Oregon opal. Nice.
Well, it's not
Red on
red.
the silver.
You know what? Black is the color that we need. I'm going to do a chunk of this stuff. So I just need to get a chunk of it off of here. There we go. I'm going to dump the turquoise into here. Where is something?
Red one.
Tony calls that red.
Red-ish.
I mean, kind of brown, red. I could use red acrylic. So I just went, sorry to step away, I just went and I grabbed a pair of Bioscripts, and I have that Opalina. So this Opalina, cutting it has just been a nightmare. It fractures and chips and breaks, and it just wants to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. It has no desire to become a gem. It's been really hard to work with. So this is just gonna, it should just like chip off real quick and easy. Yeah, see, just, you don't need much of it. See, it just wants to break. But that is a really, really pretty color blue. It's probably my favorite of the shades of blue. I personally. I want to keep that stuff, and it's right here. You know what? I'm just going to turn all that rock into it. So I'm working on a piece of glass. I don't want to hammer on this. I'd shatter it to death. Not to mention I would just kill my table. I do need to walk over to my other bench. What I'm going to do is I have this big piece of metal, and it's got this dome dish in it. And I take and grab it. This guy here. And I'm just going to smash it. If you look in there, I've got some bigger chunks and some finer powder. And that's just perfect. So I use this little guy. It's just a teeny tiny spoon, little teeny tiny plastic spoon. And let's do the silver one. So I hope you guys can see this okay, but what I'm gonna do is, this stuff does run, so I can't just draw a picture and put a rock on it and be done with it. But what I want to do is I just want to get just a thin layer, super thin, along the bottom of this setting. So that's just a really, 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 really thin layer of it in there. And that's just so when I put the powder stuff in there, I can move it around. And I use toothpicks, I use the ends of paintbrushes, barbecue skewers. I use all sorts of stuff as tools to do this. Right now I've just got a bamboo skewer. What I'm going to do is I want to start with, I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll just make a wave of one color, kind of an S through the middle, and then we'll pick which other colors. I want to do the opalina, I think, through the middle. So I'm just going to use this little guy. Tweezers are helpful. And I'm going to pick up some of this stuff I just crushed. I'm going to put it in there. So right now it's just kind of a line across it. I'm going to use bamboo skewer to make the curves in it.
Yeah, it's focusing behind your hands, a bit closer. Tilt it a little bit towards the camera. Gives you kind of a more of a flat view of it. There you go.
Right? Okay, that's not very much. So it's kind of because of, what do they call it? What are your vessels? Capillary. The capillary effect of the resin, it wants to go into the small spaces. So it's not soaking into the rock, but it's soaking into the small spaces between it. So it kind of allows me to move this around. And I think I like kind of more of a crescent moon on one side. Where do I go? That way.
Now?
If you can see that, maybe you'll be able to see it better. See how I did like just a C? I think one side looks like a crescent moon, the other side looks like a circle. But I have laid in the C.
This is what it's showing to people.
So now I'm just going to do, what I'm doing is I'm just doing it little by little, basically I'm building the wall. Just one little teeny tiny layer of basically powdered rock on top of another. And there again, that thin layer of the CA resin that I put in the first was supposed to soak up in between all of these little stones and let me move them around. I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to see it on the camera, but there isn't like much of that resin left at all in the bottom of the ring. It's all in those stones. So what I'm going to do is, I like how that is right now, and that is it's not as deep as it's going to be, but that creates a nice little boundary border thing. So I'm going to take the light and I'm going to shine it at it, and I'm going to harden it. So about now it's hard. I like to give it a minute longer. Sorry, you can hear my bird in the background. He's He is what he is. So now that's hard. That is set right there. Oh, buddy. Okay, going back in place. So now I think because I really like that color, I want to do maybe a dark spot here and then lighter over here. So I'm thinking it's opalina and we'll do some azurite. I don't want it to look like I'm just putting colored resin in there. So I'm trying to pick out some of the really, really small stones so you can actually see the rocks rather than just a powder. There we got a nice little blue spot in there. I'm going to do the other side with the turquoise. I'm not trying to fill it to the top, so the ultraviolet light will not set, or the ultraviolet resin will not set if it doesn't get exposed to ultraviolet light. So you have to do this in thin layers. So I'm just putting one layer of each in there. I'm going to take the little dropper, and I don't want to fill it up with resin. Here again, I just want that resin to soak down using, the capillary, whatever you want to call it. I just want it to soak down in to the stones. The stones aren't going to let the ultraviolet light through, so there needs to be some gaps and everything in there. The whole surface should look, after it's kind of soaked in, it should look wet. All the stones should look wet, but not polished, if that makes sense. It shouldn't look like they're sitting in a bunch of resin. Okay. So turquoise, opalina, and azurite inlay. I'm just kind of moving it around to let that resin be able to flow around and get to all the surfaces and down to the ring itself. Now I'm going to shine a light at it, and I'm going to cure this portion. So that's nice and hard now. Nothing's going to fall out of it. Can you see that? I hope you can. So I'm going to do the same thing I did. I'm going to start with the green, and I'm going to make that, or the opalina. I'm just going to put some more, because the stuff that's in there is hard now, so I'm just going to put some more goo in there. Basically, I'm going to put the goo where I want it to go, because there's all these lumps and valleys and everywhere for it to settle in, rather than just going across the flat surface like it was in the bottom of the setting. So opalina. And these are big pieces that I don't want in there, so I'm going to flick some out. Teeny pieces for this. Okay, so it kind of went everywhere. I'm going to use the end of the skewer. Now that it's all gooey, because the other stuff's hard, so it's not going to move, and I can just adjust all that green where I want it, or all the opalina where I want it, that dark blue. guess it's like a dark turquoise blue. And that's actually what opalina is. I believe it comes from Peru, and it is opalized turquoise from Peru. Opalina. Okay, so now I've got that opalina back where I wanted it because it did go everywhere. I'm going to put on turquoise. Give her some goo. Let that soak in while I scoop up some of the azurite. Now I'm piling this much above that rim of the setting. I am going to use, and just like, these are all really soft stones, so like sandpaper would work, fingernail files would work. There's any abrasive surface, you could probably take it out on your sidewalk if it's not a real rough sidewalk and polish it down too. And we're not going to polish it either. So I'm going to let this kind of soak. This is where all the bubbles are going to come out. So I need to go get my clicky lighter. Be right back. All right, it's just a clicky lighter, the blowtorchy clicky lighters. You don't want to burn the resin. So these things are super duper hot. So I'm not going to burn my finger. Don't freak out. I just little clicks, little poofs of heat to go at it. The resin will get a little bit warm, and so it runs, the viscosity of it thins out. So I'm gonna continue to just let this sit because I want to give that the bubbles some time. While I'm letting it sit, I can finish kind of poking around and get these stones exactly where I want them. So I want a crescent moon out of turquoise. I want basically what looks like a letter C out of the opalina, which I don't think I have enough of on there, so I'm going to put some more. It's a big one, and so we'll leave it in there. I'm going to build up the opalina kind of a lot. So this is my favorite thing about this resin is it doesn't get hard until you expose it to ultraviolet light. Then it'll harden instantly. And because the rocks aren't going to let the ultraviolet, just make sure we got a good adhesion in there, which I'm positive we do. So at this point, I'm pretty happy with where all the little rocks have settled out in it. What is that noise? There's water leaking somewhere. It's off the table there. Let me push that bucket wherever it is. Water leak. Anyway, so yep, I'm happy with it. I'm gonna give her a couple more clicks with the heat, just to try to get out any more bubbles I may not see, which I don't see any, but I don't have my glasses on, so I can barely see the rain. Shine a light at it. Now, if I was using epoxy, I would have done this, and if I used a 20-minute epoxy, I'd have 20 minutes before it sets. That doesn't mean that you can use it for 20 minutes in laying stones, because it does like get thicker and viscosity changes and just a pain in the butt. And then you would have to wait 24 hours before you could really do anything else to it to let it cure. So what I'm going to do is now this is hard. It's done. It's underneath this light. I could actually take and start sanding on this if I wanted, because it is cured. It's not just set, it is also cured. Pretty cool. But if you look at it, it's chunky. It's not nice. It doesn't reflect light evenly. It just looks like a bunch of crap stacked in there and glued together. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to put it in my ultraviolet little cooker thingy for 300 seconds, just to make sure it's hard. So I will be right back. Please stand by. Smoke them if you got them. Go get a drink. 300 seconds. I'll be back well before then. Oh, I unplugged that one. Well, Tony, the time has come where we've almost finished another project.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do this time? I got nothing to do for the rest of the day. Oh, why does it get so freaking hot in here? Those are LED lights.
This is the only one that, like,
it really gets hot.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't even really do anything to the.
Has there just been one steady person hanging in the whole time? Wonder
No,
if nobody's commenting anything.
there's been up to 2 other people. And if it's just at one, then that's just much fun.
Mine says 2 right now. 2 whole people.
So that means there's 1 extra.
200 more seconds. I guess I could move the camera to where we're going to be next. So here we go. We're moving around my shop yet again. How about my beautiful face? While I get ready. I'm going to use. Do you have a Dremel? Sure, Dremel would work this time because I have this little handheld Dremel. I used it for a long time. I've burned up several of them. They're cheap. They're wireless. There's no power to them. This one is much nicer. So this is what I'm going to do the grinding with. This is what they call a Nova tip. It is, for lack of a better way to describe it, it's really soft, plasticky, clayish filling with teeny tiny bits of diamond in it. I use them for polishing silver and copper. Oh my goodness. I wish I could say gold in there. He hasn't found me any gold yet.
Working on it.
So I can work from this angle. Maybe we should just face that dead on. Too old to bend way over. That's foot pedal. So I'm going to change this bit to just a sandpaper. Every Dremel in the planet comes with a little kit that has these sandpaper barrels, these guys. That one obviously was worn out. This one is, I believe, well, I can tell you. This one is a 240 grit, which I think I'm going to change. Because like I said, the azurite, the malachite, oh, we didn't put any malachite in it, did we? They're all, the opalina, it's all really soft stones. It's not like we put really hard agate or something agatized or quartz or something in there. What did I do? My thingy. So that my little cooker oven's almost done. It's almost been 300 seconds. 300 seconds is a long time, isn't it? All right, got that in there. Change the sandpaper. So I'm going to change the sandpaper to finer grit. Just I don't want to remove. I don't want to remove it super duper fast. So let's up it to 600. So I'm changing to a 600 grit little pad. Sure wish they made these easier to change. This one might not even fit on this guy. So I got it squished on there good enough. And you know what they say? Good enough is good enough. Okay, so that's the barrel little sandpaper. Here's the ring that we're working on. So what we're gonna do is just smooth out the top and try to make it flush with the top of this really, really, really chintzy setting. So I don't need a lot of speed on here. I need to put my mask on. Give me a second, guys. It's not a real heavy duty mask. I think you can still hear me, but all this stuff is not good to breathe in when it's a dry powder. When I'm cutting on my other stones, on the other wheels, it's wet, so there's no dust, but this is dusty. So getting pretty close. Doesn't take much. 600 grit sandpaper took that right away. It's a little rough. I'm not trying to smooth it all the way out perfect. The acrylic's going to take care of that for me. So what I am trying to do is I'm just trying to get a really nice, even dome-ish, very small, shallow dome on that. So a lot of this movement, not so much that movement, if that makes sense. Spin it around a lot. Keep that nice shallow angle on it. If you go at too high of a speed with your tool, you can melt the epoxy and it will leave a burn mark in there. Live and learn, right? Been there, done that. Okay, so that's about all I really needed. I've got all those rocks and all the epoxy and everything sanded down to the same level as that setting is, with a very, 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 very slight dome on it. In fact, I'm going to take some more of the dome off because it's the acrylic that's actually going to dome it. Yeah, that's much better. The reason I did that is so the epoxy doesn't run over everything. I want it to grab onto the corner of that right there. I don't want the epoxy to run down, or I'm sorry, resin over the silver part. Okay, that's all the sanding I'm going to do, so I can take off my mask now. So I guess I can just stay right here and do this part. Can you see that okay, Tony?
Yeah.
So when you're polishing rocks, I explained this a little bit earlier. The idea of getting them shiny and polished is to remove the scratches. And right now there's grit 600 level of scratches in this. So although you can see some of the pieces of rock, you can't really, it's still really hazy and kind of dull and not defined, and can't really tell the difference between what was really powdery and what was chunky. And when I put the resin on there, it's going to fill in all those scratches and then clarify it, and it just makes it look polished. And so what the object here is to let the resin create the dome. It does run, so I've got to do this rather quick. Let me make sure I've got my black light right here. I'm going to take a blob. I'm not going to use my little teeny tiny dropper because I actually want like a blob. I put it right in the middle, and I'm going to let that run, and I'm going to get ready with something very small to help encourage it to the edges. I don't want a huge gigantic amount because I don't want it to run really fast, but I'm just going to coax that epoxy, trying to keep it nice and level. I'm just going to coax it to the edge of the rocks, just where they meet the silver. Now I don't know if you can see that, but how nice that looks already. So I'm really happy with it right there. So I'm going to instantly hit it with the light and harden that resin. So just like water does, when you touch it to a rock, it makes it look shiny and polished. The resin does the same thing to the rocks in the ring, makes them look shiny and polished, and basically takes away those scratches that refract the light and make them not look very nice. That's really cool. I don't know how well you can see that, but that resin domed up really, really nice. There's a good light roll across it. It's very smooth, it's very shiny, and you can see the inlay in there. You can see the 3 different stones. So there again, it's turquoise, opalina, and azurite.
All 3 forms of color.
So now I'm going to go and I'm going to put this in that little ultraviolet thing, and I'm going to turn it on and off throughout the evening and just let that sit in there just to make sure that the light and all the resin and everything, that's 3 different layers of resin that we did. So I want to make sure that they're just cooked up really nice. So I'm just going to leave it in there for a while. But that is finished. I could easily put that on and we started with this little ring blank that Tony brought over. It's from Amazon. They're really cheap. This would make a very fun project. It was super easy to do. It's safe, no heat, no sharp tools. Be good for kids. A little bit of this stuff goes a very long way. So there again, the supplies are like nothing. And yeah, I actually have a really pretty piece of jewelry. Okay, what are we going to do next? I'm going to leave you guys with the view of my flex shaft tool. My flex shaft. Hot in here, Tony. Where's this rain they've been bragging about all day long?
Evaporated.
Oh, little bug, you're still outside.
These cats didn't get you.
At least it'll be warm in here in the winter. Your people watching?
No. Oh, do you have the yellow lighter?
No. Little retarded things to do.
Oh, you don't have it. See. It's not too tall. Yeah, my plan for these is I was gonna
Wonder how much sterling silver things cost like that.
depending. But I was gonna take these and round the burl wood and put inside of it with a dome on it. That was my original plan with them, just to see.
I would think rather than trying to do it with the ring, because I've noticed when I tried to dome up rings and stuff, they just don't kind of, well, you could flatten it and dome it with the acrylic. The smaller rings are just hard to see. Yeah, I should do it with stripies.
it around that size and just boop. And then just barely dome the side edges so it's not as squared. I put the right down the center on this other side. Yeah, there's those little tiny branch pieces. One of these.
That is funny.
Cut it in half, put a copper bead right there.